Play the Monopoly Collect and Win game at Safeway with over $250 million in prizes and money-saving offers. Use your club card and Just For You Clip or Click coupon to get beef prime rib roast for only $4.99 a pound, limit 1. And strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, or raspberries are buy one, get one free. Shop, play, win at Safeway today. See game rules at shopplaywin.com. Monopoly is a trademark of Hasbro and is used with permission.
Hi, I'm Stunning Stella Cheeks.
And I'm the Enigma Erin Klein.
And this is Not Your Demographic, a feminist wrestling podcast.
Shockingly, those exist.
Hello, Demis. So we don't have a regular episode this week because, well, we have our priorities right and we opted to see Fozzy instead. It was amazing, totally worth it. If he comes to your town, you should see it. But maybe show up late because there were 3 opening bands of varying degrees of likability. But Fozzy and Jericho, GOAT, amazing. Have a good time. Hopefully you see Jimmy Jacobs too. But we didn't want to leave you with nothing, so we're releasing one of our Patreon episodes. We have a series called Every Mania Ever, and we're going through, well, every Mania ever. So we're releasing our first one, covering WrestleMania 1, and we're just giving you a little taste of some of the things you can get if you subscribe to our Patreon. If you want to subscribe to our Patreon, you can find it on patreon.com/notyourdemopod. As always, you can find us online. I'm at Stella_Cheeks. Erin's at ErinGenC. You can follow us on at NotYourDemoPod on Twitter. And, you know where to find us. Who are we kidding? You love us. We love you. We're a weird, dysfunctional wrestling family. We'll be back next week to talk about WrestleMania and all of the nonsense that we missed. But also, oh my God, you guys, EC3 is in NXT finally. I'm so happy. Now all I need is my boo. My baby Drew boo. Okay, well, I'm going to go write some fanfic. Enjoy this episode. Bye. Every Mania ever! I guess that's how we're starting it.
All right, great.
We just were like, how are we going to start these Patreon episodes? Like that.
That's exactly how.
Hello, Demis. Welcome to your first ever Patreon exclusive podcast. So part of our Patreon, you get at least two special episodes a month. Our first stretch goal was to do Every Mania Ever. So we are watching Every Mania Ever.
That's right, we are.
Through the highs and the lows.
There are some lows.
Thankfully, today is a high. We're doing WrestleMania 1.
Yes, which, honestly, I thought I was going to hate. I thought it was going to be bad.
Me too.
And I really enjoyed it.
So this was March in 1985. It was at Madison Square Garden, which is why they have their fucking, jerk-off love affair with Madison Square Garden.
Yep,
Which, I understand, but also... Come on.
Get over it.
Get over it. It's funny because I have attempted to do Every Mania Ever before, on my own, but I just didn't really pay attention. So I technically watched this, but I didn't really pay attention. But obviously for this one, I paid attention, and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good.
I know. Once I was like, oh, I had to take notes on this, I was surprised by how much I was like, oh, I'm really enjoying this.
Right. Let's just jump into it. Okay. I love how fucking 80s the intro is.
Yes, I agree. Although I have one note before that. I opened this up and literally the first thing I said as soon as it opened was, this is only 2 hours long, which blew my fucking mind. I have it in all caps in my notes. It's shorter than an episode of SmackDown. It's 2 hours and 16 minutes. That's fucking bananas to me.
SmackDown's 2 hours.
Well, when it wasn't running live, it would run the extra time over as well. But yeah, it's like a typical SmackDown episode, which is fucking bananas to me. Yeah. WrestleMania 1, short as hell. But yes, this intro is very 80s.
And the song and the the pictures floating by.
Yeah.
All the, like, neon. I was, like, very into it.
As soon as Liberace came up, I was like, oh, well, now I'm in. I'm ready for this.
More Liberace at WrestleMania.
I agree.
More gay icons at WrestleMania, please. I legit forget about Jesse Ventura every time. And I'm like, oh, yeah, he's
so good. So good.
I think the thing about watching these WrestleManias, because we've watched 1 and 2 now, is... It's interesting to know the timeline of old wrestlers.
Yes.
Because you always hear, like, Bruno Sammartino, the Body Ventura, Gorgeous George, Hulk Hogan, blah, blah, blah. And if you're not familiar with that, you kind of lump them all in, like, the old guys, the old wrestlers. But, like, there are eras in the old guys, quote unquote. And it's, you know, like, this is Jesse Ventura's commentating phase.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, I love it.
Yeah.
And we were talking, too, about how, like, I think that Gorilla and Bobby Heenan are such a great iconic duo that they kind of that Jesse and Gorilla just gets lost a little bit, but they're fucking great together. They made this pay-per-view.
Oh, like, for sure.
Really put it over. They made it seem exciting.
Jesse's good at, like, actually getting the matches over.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yes.
I mean, Bobby and Gorilla are great, but they do, like, a lot of character bits, which is excellent, and that's what they're known for. But, like, Jesse, like, puts the matches over and the people over.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, I had the thought, I was like, I'm so happy they only do the fucking anthem for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they did it for every pay-per-view?
Yes, I can imagine. And it would be fucking
so
awful.
Happy.
Yeah. Also, I love that Gene sung the anthem at the front.
God.
Why? Also,
Gene, I hate that I work here.
I appreciated so much that he was like, we are doing this at a fast clip and we will be done with this song. And it was over very quickly.
I truly feel like he's like, well, I'm happy I have a job, but I really hate all of these idiots, and I hate being here. And I still feel like he feels that way.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He and Ric Flair just get drunk together all the time.
Fuck all these monsters and morons. I'm happy for the paycheck, but, like, leave me alone. Stop yelling in my face.
Yeah. Also, I love that Gene just holds the microphone, does not try to follow the wrestlers, forces them to talk into his microphone. Like, Renee is great, and so is... Dasha is really good at this too, about like following them with the microphone, so it seems natural. And Gene is like, absolutely not. I'm a professional, and you will talk into this microphone.
I also had the thought, like, I know it happens every once in a while, but man, I'm so glad we have moved past the brother phase. Because in my head, it was like, oh, that's the thing that Hulk Hogan does. Nope. It's a thing that everybody
does. Oh, it is so irritating. I completely agree.
So the first match was Tito Santana with the best hair. I was like, oh, Tito, I like this hair. And LOL, the Executioner.
The Gene straight up said, I know nothing about the man. Like, what?
I've never been less scared of a person in my life.
I know.
He gave the worst promo. He had a mask that, like, was like sideways on his face.
Is he also the Repo Man? It looks really similar to the way
I don't know.
The Repo Man moves.
I
feel like they might be the same person. If they're not, that's kind of
yeah. If they're not, they're heavily inspired by each other. I also had the thought for 1985 and for it being like live. I thought the camera work was like shockingly good.
Yeah,
like, the different angles of the wrestling and like I mean, it's obviously not perfect, but I was like, oh, I expected this to be way worse.
Yeah, there are things that I noticed that we were also talking before we started about how I'm really interested to see year by year when things get introduced, like people all being on the comm sets together, like
having fucking mats on the ground.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my god.
Moving the barricade back. There are so many fucking people at ringside.
It's insane.
It's chaotic. Like,
it's like hard to follow.
It is super hard to follow.
Like multiple people or managers and stuff. It's like, what's happening?
And like the guardrail is right there. So you have all of these ringside photographers too. Like, I'm interested to see when those finally got banned from ringside. So the first match, especially for me, was just like, why are there so many people here?
What is happening? Also, those ropes are scary.
They're loose. They're so loose. Every time anyone tried to go up on them, like, don't just don't do it. Adopt the Drew Gulak and just don't do it.
Jesse Ventura has a good line that he said over and over again, but like it's still a good line. Woodstock is to rock and roll what Mania is to wrestling. But it's like true.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, absolutely. But I love that it's Mania 1 and like doesn't have the history, and he's like...
That's why I thought they did such a great job, because they
really put it over.
They made it seem like this is a big fucking deal that we're doing this, even though it was just a huge gamble.
Right.
They did a great job.
I mean, this match was not great, because, like, the Executioner is trash, but it definitely feels more real, I guess. Like, I think it's because it's so grapply and less, like... Mm-hmm.
It was a good opening. It was a great opening for what they wanted to do.
Well, I just mean, like, overall, this old style, like, I can understand how people fell for the work.
Yeah.
Why people felt that it was real. Like, I get it. Because the style is a lot more... And not that, like, there are certain matches, obviously, that feel super real now. But, like, it seems at least maybe a lot more safer or a lot more choreographed in a positive way. Like, I obviously like watching current wrestling more because it is more varied and, like, whatever. Right. But I can definitely understand why people really fell for the work.
Yeah, and especially when you only have, like, one big move a match, like, it does make a lot more sense that, like, this is... That kayfabe world is so much more easy to sell to people.
Yeah. Tito the Good Hair Santana won.
Yep.
That's what I wrote.
Excellent. Good. Good.
Oh, well, fuck you, Executioner.
Right, bye.
Parts unknown, undefeated, we don't know anything. Oh, he's dead.
I love that so many people are billed from parts unknown. Like, just pick a city.
Just make up a city.
Right.
Coming from Atlantis, the Executioner. Who fucking cares?
I hope he crawled out of the sea. That would be hilarious.
I can never get over his lordship, Alfred Hayes. I'll never get over it. Every time they throw to him, I'm like, what? What's happening? What is this bow tie? Why are you holding that WrestleMania thing so weird? It seems like WrestleMania is all his, like, fantasy. He's, like, got his, like, little book, and he's like, hi, everybody, this is my show.
I also love, too, that the wrestlers don't give a fuck about walking through his shots at all, at any point. Like, just get out of my way.
It's so funny.
It's so, like, they couldn't find anywhere else to put it. Like, anywhere else.
I think it was supposed to make it seem more real or whatever, but it's also, he, like, is so distracted. He's, like, trying to get, like, thrown over to, trying to send over to the pre-recorded segments, but there are wrestlers walking by, it's so loud. He's, like, clearly flustered, and he's like, oh, keep it together, Alfred. I love him, though. I'm a big fan of Lord Alfred Hayes. I also wanted to say this. I wanted to say this up top. Obviously, we're watching a lot of this stuff for the first time, or, like, you know, with more context. There are probably some people that we're going to talk about in a positive way that are terrible people. And and we just don't have that knowledge. Yeah. And I'm not going to go through and, like, research every person on the card and be like, did this person do something horrible? So if we do say, like, oh my God, I love XY, and they're like, did you know that XY killed a bunch of people in Santa Monica? Like, no, I didn't know that.
No, we did not know that.
Give me the benefit.
Yeah. We did not know that. We would like to hear that context, but, like, don't assume that we're like, LOL, yeah, murderers. We're going to try to avoid that. But
Lord Alfred Hayes definitely probably killed somebody, which is why I'm, like, contextual.
I also feel like we're far enough back in the Manias that a lot of these people are just characters. Right. Like, they're so far removed from current wrestling that it's all lore, and they're all legends, and it's like actual legends and of myth and of old. So it's also like we just don't have the real world context on a lot of these people, and, like, I'm interested to know it, but I think that's a great point that, like, we're just talking about the characters at this point.
So the next match was Special Delivery Jones and King Kong Bundy
with Jimmy Hart.
King Kong Bundy is terrifying. Like, I've heard his name before, but I don't think I've ever actually, like, seen him. I was like, ah!
He's, like, shockingly well spoken too, which is, like, scary.
Yeah,
he's like old, white, weird-looking Samoa Joe. That's what he reminds me of. Like,
like, much taller.
Much taller, yes. And I guess I just didn't realize how big of a deal he was. Like, I always thought he was just, like, an old mid-card jobber dude, and he's not at all, and he's, like, really good. I really enjoyed this, and then later we see more of him too, but, like, I was shocked by how good he was. And also, Jimmy Hart looks young. So young.
Instinctually, like, I don't know a lot about Jimmy Hart other than, like, he was with Hulk Hogan, and, like, I've heard him a couple times, but I instinctually fucking hate him.
Yep.
Am I supposed to? Because I fucking hate him.
Yeah, the megaphone and the outfits.
I just, like, deeply hate him.
Yes.
And anytime he's with somebody, I'm like, well, I hate that person now.
I feel like the further we get into this, have you ever watched any of the Legends House stuff?
No. Why would I do that? Maybe that can be, once we're done with every Mania ever, we'll go to Legend's house.
Because it's got Mean Gene, Rowdy Roddy Piper, Tony Atlas, it's got Jimmy Hart in it, and like you learn, and Pat Patterson, you learn so much about these people, and like that's the only reason I like Jimmy Hart is because I watched this and he has this like tragic life that he like opens up about a lot.
Well, maybe we can do that in the future.
And I feel like you would enjoy
I hate him.
Yeah, I feel like you would enjoy it, but like he's so good at being just like a detestable manager, and he's so good at it.
This match lasted 9 seconds.
It was so short.
Talk about a squash match. This was 9 seconds long.
Yeah, it was so short.
Yeah, it was really short. It's like not even worth talking about.
No, that's it.
I mean, I liked Special Delivery Jones. I thought he gave a good backstage promo, but also like this match.
The promos were literally longer than the
9 seconds.
Yeah,
so
short.
The next match was Matt Bourne versus Ricky Steamboat. More like Ricky Dreamboat, am I right? It's upsetting how hot he is.
He's so good looking.
It's the 80s. Everyone is supposed to look awful.
He's
and like
so
here
hot.
comes Ricky Steamboat being like, look at my beautiful hair, look at my beautiful body, look at my beautiful face. Oh, also I'm very good at wrestling.
Very good at wrestling.
Ugh.
Yes, absolutely. I also love that, like, this is something I have a little context on. I love that he's just a babyface, and he just is a babyface his whole career. Never turns, isn't a heel, just is great and is awesome.
And I mean, you need that. You need people who are just good at being a babyface.
Yeah.
And it seems like, I mean, at least right now in this context, is for me, it seems like he is over. Not because he cuts like crazy ass promos. He's over because he's good at wrestling.
Yes, absolutely.
And he's dreamy as hell.
And so dreamy. And he's in the panties in this one before he makes the unfortunate lifelong switch to white pants for some reason.
Yeah, he has a good bod.
Yeah, a real good bod.
Yeah, a real good bod.
So good.
I mean, this match was like the first like actual wrestling match. Because like the Executioner one was trash. And the other one was a hilarious squash match. And this one was like actually a wrestling match. I didn't care for Matt Bourne.
He did nothing for me. I took
not exciting. Oh my god. Imogen just like threw that toy under the door. He was not exciting. He was not good looking.
No.
I was like, there's nothing for me to root for here.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for Ricky to win.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he did.
And he did. Thank you, Ricky. The next match was Brutus Beefcake versus David Sammartino.
I guess I didn't realize how...
LOL, David Sammartino.
Yeah, I didn't realize
what a terrible name.
Old Bruno Sammartino already was at this point.
So old.
Also, I think it's hilarious, and by hilarious I mean real shitty, that they trot him out, Bruno Sammartino, for the first WrestleMania, and then don't induct him into the Hall of Fame for like 30 more years. Like, for real? Like, that's just bananas to me. Like, what a dick move.
It is so sad. This was like the first example of this for me, but like having a huge legend father and just wanting to follow in his footsteps and just you're not as talented.
Yeah.
Like, poor, like
just aren't.
Ain't never heard of David Sammartino before.
No, me neither.
Like, sorry. Also, like, good for Bruno for having sex with somebody because he is very unattractive. I understand that wrestling was like everything to people and like ladies just like laid down for wrestlers in the 80s, but like Bruno Sammartino is not good looking.
I mean, they laid down for him in the 60s when he was
60s, yes, pardon
considerably better looking, I'm guessing.
guess.
He was like old world good looking wrestler.
No.
It's
scary.
I'm not into it, but I understand why there was a woman who was like,
there was at least one woman
who's
willing
like, I'm
to
gonna hit
carry
that.
his baby.
Yeah, that's right.
I appreciate Brutus Beefcake because he has an actual look and like an actual gimmick.
He also is the first person we see in like nice ring gear, in like real
Not just,
sparkly
like,
tights. Yeah, and
has like a character that's not just like
right.
I'm King Kong Bunny, I'm giant.
Mm-hmm. Or the Executioner,
Which,
I'm
like,
wearing all
count.
black.
The Executioner doesn't count. We never speak of the Executioner
I hope
again.
we find out later that that's Carmella's dad.
Yeah, that would be funny. I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either, but it would be really funny.
But he had like a bow tie, and he had like the bright like 80s like pants, and like had like a sneer, and you know, it was good. Except for it was funny because he was with like Luscious. His manager.
I didn't write his name down.
Whatever.
Yeah.
He shows up all the time. But it's funny because, like, Gene asked Brutus a question, and then Luscious just stood in front of the camera. So you couldn't see Brutus and the mic. And so then he was like, he doesn't need to answer the question. Like, even if he wanted to, like, we can't, you're just standing in front of the camera, you're back to the camera. That was hilarious to me. I think it was a choice, but it was like a very funny choice. This is where I wrote, I think Gene hates his life and his legacy. He's probably like, I guess it's good I'm famous and had a job, but also I hate these idiots.
That makes sense. That totally makes sense.
I love that Bruno Sammartino just wears like an old man sweater to the ring.
I know.
He's just like, I'm famous, I don't give a fuck.
I did my time. I don't gotta do
David. Also Brutus Beefcake had these like amazing boots.
Yes.
They were amazing. Like, and I want those boots.
This is also a time where everyone's footwear looked super uncomfortable. Like, really uncomfortable, too. So it was especially nice to be like, oh, hey, what's up? Someone understands where we're going here with the gear. And I agree. I liked everything that he was doing.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, the match was a lot of, like, Brutus pulling heel shit and being like, oh, you can't fight me now, and David getting, like, mad, like, hey, I came here to grapple. I came here to prove myself for my dad. And Brutus was like, I'm gonna be behind these ropes for a second.
Yeah.
Also, I guess we have always just loved old men wrestling, because Bruno and Luscious get into it outside the ring.
That's why the match breaks down.
I guess we've always just liked this.
Yeah, everyone wants the Legends pop of yore, I guess.
We've always loved a Legends pop.
Also, this is the first time I had ever heard this move referred to when Jesse screamed, he got Pearl Harbored.
Yeah, I remember that. I also
Again,
was like,
all caps, underlined. I was like, what the fuck? I had never heard that term before. They stopped using it by WrestleMania 2. I think probably...
No, they don't. There's
really?
at least one where he says it.
I didn't notice it in the second one.
Pearl Harbored.
I counted. They said it 4 times in WrestleMania 1 in 2 hours, and I was just, like, blown away. Like, no.
Like, he got totes 9/11.
Right? It's just so bizarre to me. Like, it's very, very weird.
Yeah, so this match was a double DQ because the old men couldn't keep their hands off each other.
Yeah, great. Good job, old dudes, I guess. This was the first time I was like, there are too many people. Like,
for sure.
It is a health hazard how many people are by the ring.
It is a health hazard. The next match was the Intercontinental Championship match. This was versus Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Versus Junkyard Dog, yep.
Greg the Hammer Valentine, perhaps the ugliest man I've ever seen. Oh my god. But he also has a great character. He doesn't have like great gear or anything, but he is like a good heel.
Yes, I agree.
And Junkyard Dog has charisma for days.
How can he have this shit house gimmick? And he's so good at it. Like,
he's so good at it.
He's so good at it. Yes.
Also, like, did we all just do figure fours? Was that just everyone's move?
Yeah.
They were like, I'm gonna put the figure 4 on him in their promo. And I'm like, are we all just doing this? Are there other moves?
No, you get to be on the mat and you can just be on the ground for a minute.
Maybe
so everyone
this was
wants
why
to do
Bret
it.
Hart's sharpshooter was so revolutionary.
Yes.
Because it was like, a different submission.
Yes. I think that's actually right.
It's interesting who gets entrances and who don't, and who doesn't.
Who don't, yeah.
Who don't. And who don't. That's what I wrote. I'm very stupid. And who doesn't. Because, like, Greg the Hammer is the champion here.
Yeah.
But he doesn't get the entrance. But Junkyard Dog gets a full entrance.
Yeah, it's very weird. I don't understand the logic of it at all, actually.
As somebody who's, like, the CTA queen, how do you feel about Junkyard Dog's all of his headbutts?
They make me really uncomfortable, but I've also accepted,
they look
like...
very fake.
Yeah, like...
These ones specific, like that one when he was, like, on the mat and just, like, crawling and donking and crawling and donking and crawling and, like, that didn't look real.
Well, the thing isn't about him hurting Valentine, it's him doing it to himself. And, like, I don't love it, but I also just have accepted, like, we're gonna see we're gonna get see some shit.
Benoit soon.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
not soon. Not even soon.
But, like, we'll get there and we'll have to deal with that.
Yeah, and, like, Junkyard Dog took a straight up shot to the head at one point, and like that, I've just accepted that there are gonna be stuff I'm gonna freak out about, and this was one that I was like, yeah, you can just donk people and hurt yourself, I guess. This is not the worst. So yeah, it's also you can call me the CTA queen.
Did I call you
Yeah,
that?
and I was like,
I mean, also not wrong.
yeah, that's why I was like, I'm confused about the follow up to this.
The CTA CTE queen.
Yes, exactly.
That's funny. Is that why his trunks say thump? Because he just hits people with his
I think
head?
so, yeah.
He thumps people with his head.
I think so, yeah.
It's funny that somebody's butt says thump on it.
I agree. All right.
So this match ends because Valentine cheats. He has his legs on the ropes and pins him. But then Tito comes out and tells the ref, and the ref is like, oh, okay, start the match again. The ref was just like, sure, I don't need an instant replay.
I believe you.
Tito, I trust you.
Yeah, I believe you.
And then
okay.
He starts immediately counting down, and Valentine is confused, and Valentine gets counted out because he's like, wait, I won. Wait, this match is going? I don't. So technically,
Whatever.
Junkyard Dog wins, but, like, he can't get the bell because...
Champion's advantage, yeah.
Right, but also, like, how did that happen? That would never happen
It was
today.
so
For
weird.
the better,
Yeah,
honestly.
I agree. It was very
I like the
fucking
new
weird.
rule of, like, ref's decision stands.
Yeah. Mhm.
Even if, like,
It makes
we
way more
cheat.
sense.
Tito's just like, hey, he cheated. Oh, okay, start the match again. It was so stupid.
It happened so fast, too.
Yeah, it was really dumb. And because there's so many people around, it's, like, confusing.
Yeah, it was...
If I was Greg Valentine, I would be like, what is happening?
I'm just gonna go to the back. I'm finished. I'm done.
I'm fucking done.
Okay, next match. Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik
With
versus...
classy Freddie Blassie as their manager.
Yes. Versus Mike Rotunda and Barry Windham?
Barry Windham.
With Lou Albana as their manager. I was excited to see him right away.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't know how, but I had no context at all for Lou Albana, and I was like...
What?
Yeah, I really did. I didn't know, so I went to Twitter and I was like, can somebody please explain these rubber bands, first of all?
Oh my
Because
God.
I was like, staring at the screen like, what the fuck?
Have you never seen the Girls Just Want to Have Fun video?
I didn't know that was him. and then
Were you like, why the fuck is Cyndi Lauper here?
yes. and then somebody was like, he was one of our best Marios. And my response was, is Mario what we call cool Italian men? Is that like a reverse slur? I don't understand. And they were like, no, bro, he actually was Mario. I thought it was just like, he's a great Mario. Like, that's like, he's a cool Italian guy.
Oh my God.
I didn't know anything about him. I learned a lot.
Well, you really don't know anything about old wrestling at all. Wow.
So I learned a lot about Lou Albano.
Oh my God.
I've seen a lot of Mario videos now that I did not need to see.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Nicola Volkova is like a pretty good singer. I'm just moving on. He's a good singer with zero butts. He has the worst butt.
There are just a dearth of butts
There are
in
a
this.
dearth of butts, but Nicola Volkov's butt is the worst butt. And his trunks go like all the way up his back, which does not make the flat butt better.
No, it doesn't.
Not good. Also, Nicola Volkov 100% looks like Mojo Rawley, right?
Yes. Yes, he does. Also, Mike Rotunda in this looks like a tiny baby Bruce Campbell if Bruce Campbell became a wrestler. And I'm
Yeah, for sure.
into it.
And I am into it. I love that Iron Sheik was Russia #1, Iran #1. I was like, that's not how math works, buddy. #1. Also, I don't know the history, but I think it's interesting that their manager is American. He's just like an American guy who likes heels, I guess.
Yeah. The ultimate
Let's
traitor.
go commies.
Yeah, right.
It's I mean, I know it's the 80s, but it's, like, hilarious how much people hate Russians.
Yeah.
Like, when he's singing the theme song, it, like, feels like the whole building's gonna crash down because people are so upset, which is, like, such a good heel move, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
He requests that you all stand for his anthem.
I like seeing people enter from Gorilla.
Yeah, it's weird. I think that's the problem with the wrestlers walking in front of Lord Alfred Hayes is that he's at Gorilla and like, don't stand at Gorilla.
And he just stands there and doesn't move.
I don't have any other notes on this match other than they have no butts. Iris is a baby.
There's a couple dick kicks. There's lots of cheating. Sheik hits Wyndham with Freddie Blassie's cane. Mm-hmm. I wrote can. I was like, what the fuck?
Hits him with his can?
Yes, he hits him with his can. So the bad guys win,
yes.
Which I thought was like a really interesting choice for like WrestleMania 1. Mm-hmm. You have, the scary Russian and the scary Iranian win against these like wholesome white boys. I thought that was like a cool like choice. Instead, it made WrestleMania more exciting and unpredictable. I could see why people would be like, oh, and like the house went crazy and the cheating. I think that made for an interesting match. I did write. I was like, yo, Tito, where you at?
Yeah, right.
Tito, where
Don't
you
give
at?
a fuck about this one, huh?
It's not your friends.
Don't give a. Okay, all right.
Tito, you commie bastard. Yeah, I mean, this match was not like a good wrestling match.
No, it wasn't.
But it wasn't supposed to be. It was supposed to just be like a heel match.
Right,
to like
exactly.
get the crowd all fucking hyped.
Yeah, I agree.
The next match was the $15,000 slam match with Big John Studd, managed by Bobby the Brain Heenan, versus Andre the Giant. First of all, Bobby's suit sequenced from head to toe.
Oh, that's his thing.
It was a good suit.
His suit game is always excellent.
But also, what is the point of this match? Because, like, why would you ever challenge Andre the Giant to a slam match?
Because Big John Stubb is the new giant around here, and Andre's old news. That's it. That's literally why.
How drunk do you think he was for this match?
Andre? 4 bottles of wine deep, fucking easily.
He was like...
How old do you think he is here?
I don't give a fuck. 40?
39.
Hey, look at me.
Right?
He was just like... I'm gonna win.
Oh,
I'm
it's
drunk.
right.
He looks uncomfortable in this match. Is he like always just in pain?
Always.
Is that why he's
always.
drunk all the time? Because
yeah.
he's just like always in pain.
No,
because
that's
like being a giant is actually a very painful disease.
Well, he had the reason that he's a giant is because he had a tumor on his pituitary gland, and they didn't catch it until it was way too late, and so his body is. It's not set to function. That's why he died so young.
What a great choice to become a wrestler.
Yeah. I mean, he was a giant, and like for the first 8 years that he was wrestling, it was great, and then it was like, oh fuck, I have this tumor, I have to get removed, and also now I'm in just enormous pain all the time. We'll talk about this more in 2, but you can see it in 2 have you gotten to that part yet?
No.
Ooh, it's bad. He looks fucking just a year later. It's bad, yeah.
That's sad.
You can see it in the beginning of this that he's like clearly in a lot of pain.
Well, this makes my next question like really shitty a follow up because it's would you have sex with Andre the Giant?
At this point?
No, not at this point, just like in general.
In the past, before this? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I had that thought. I was like, I feel like I would.
Also, his fingers are the size of dicks. Like, he doesn't even have to fuck
you. 11 dicks!
11?
Well, you have fingers. And
you
then one dick.
You held up both of your hands. I was like, do you have 11 fingers?
No, and the dick. I guess the thumbs are not, but I guess his thumbs would be big.
Yeah.
So this match obviously wasn't good because like of all the stuff we just talked about, but I think the character selling between Big John Studd and Bobby the Heenan, like that's what got the match over.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then especially when Andre won and then took the money and just started throwing it into the crowd.
I think honestly, I felt like watching that was the first WrestleMania moment. That capital W, capital M, like him getting that and then just tossing it out to the fans and then Bobby stealing it back. Like that for sure for me was like, oh, this is a moment this is an iconic wrestling moment that people remembered forever.
Totally.
Like I see now why Vince wants to, like, force these moments into the cultural lexicon, because, like, that felt like a big fucking deal.
For sure. I did think that this match, they could have made this match shorter.
Oh, yeah,
this
for
was,
sure.
like, way too long for, like,
but Andre is he is a name, and he drew people to this, and so I, like,
also,
get it.
he was, like, in pain.
I know.
It was a little uncomfortable.
Also, it's before they made him wear the singlet, too, which I thought was weird. Like,
oh, yeah, he was just in panties.
Yeah, which is not something that you, like, really ever see again from him, which is very weird.
Yeah. The next match was the women's, the ladies. So stupid. It's the women's belt, but it's like the ladies match.
No, it's not. It's the ladies championship right now.
In the second one, it's
still the ladies championship.
But sometimes they switch the word that they use.
Yeah, I think it actually
is actually the ladies.
The ladies championship, yes, which is so stupid.
Ladies.
And I like that it's blue. I like.
Yeah, I actually like the belt.
I liked the belt a lot.
The first Intercontinental belt is terrible.
Oh yeah,
but I like the ladies belt.
Yeah, I like the ladies belt as well.
So this was Leilani Kai, managed by Moolah.
Yeah, fuck you, Moolah.
Versus Wendy Richter, managed by Cyndi Lauper, who is hype to be there.
So hype. I'm a wrestler now, and I learned from the best Lou Albana, and I'm here to teach her some things, like Cyndi.
Calm down. I also was like a little like Gene, because he was like, please, ladies, calm down. And I was like, Gene, you've had all these men screaming in your face for hours, but like the women do it, and you're all of a sudden like, everybody, calm down.
I can look you in your eye, and I'm not scared. Like, you should be, maybe.
Yeah, you should be probably scared of Cyndi Lauper.
Also, Leilani Kai, honestly.
That's offensive, right? Because she's from Tampa. I looked it up. She's from Tampa.
Uh-huh.
She is not Hawaiian.
Nope.
And she's just got, like, fucking Hawaiian, like,
yep,
Party City bullshit all over her.
Also,
she doesn't look Hawaiian at all.
It wasn't until her name card came up that I realized her name was Leilani Kai. I honestly thought they kept saying the Lottie, and was like, who the fuck is Lottie?
Nope, Leilani Kai. So the commentators at first were, like, a little, like, not shitty, but a little like, oh, ladies match. But once the match started, they called it normal.
Treated it like every other match.
Yeah, which Drew specifically made it.
Really, really committed to it.
Because I was prepared for shitty commentary, and like it started off a little wonky, and then they like called it like regular wrestling match.
Absolutely. And I also really liked, too, that they weren't talking about men's matches at any point during it, which later gets horrible. That's all they do during commentary.
I mean, it still happens.
Yeah, well, especially like during the Divas era, like they didn't even talk about what was happening. They were just like, let's talk about the dudes who we're gonna see later, who we just saw. So this was like refreshing in that sense, which I really enjoyed.
The bathing suit gear is a lot.
It's very weird. It's like, you're not gymnasts, but it's also like, it's weird. It is weird.
Because it does, I mean, this happens a lot with some of the men, like we were just talking about, but like, it doesn't feel like wrestling gear. It truly feels like a mom in a bathing suit.
Yeah, but it's made out of velvet, which is assuredly not comfortable.
Because like, even like Billie Kay wears like the one piece, and it is velvet, but it's like, it looks like gear. It's got like designs, and like, this just like truly look like
also,
bathing suits.
How the fuck are these women wrestling with fully open backs and no bras? I don't understand.
Because women are incredible.
I mean, you're not wrong.
All the women who just wrestle on their period.
That's true. I can't imagine wrestling with a fucking tampon in. It sounds awful.
That sounds terrible.
Ugh.
Wendy Richter's hammerlock, like, swing was cool. Because, this match was not great. Because, specifically, Leilani Kai is not good.
Yeah.
She's, like, not good at all.
Although,
but Wendy is actually pretty good.
Yeah, and I thought, too, that it was interesting that these women were having this match was as good as some of the other men's matches, which weren't also great from both people. So it was interesting that this felt totally normal as part of the card. Like, now, yes, it was like, okay, you're not super great at this, and there were definitely some botches, especially the end. It felt very weird. But other than that, like, I was really surprised by how much they let them go for this.
I mean, this match was 6 minutes and 12 seconds long. It was longer than the Andre the Giant match. It was around the same around the same length as the tag match with Iron Sheik and them. It was around the same time as the Junkyard Dog one. Like, it was like almost the same. Like, the only two matches that were longer were the Brutus the Beefcake and David Sammartino one and the main event. Like, and this was right before the main event, and it was like billed as, like, one of the bigger matches.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which is interesting. Like, we'll get to it, but when you think about the difference between WrestleMania 1 and WrestleMania 2.
Yeah, uh-huh.
But, like, this felt like they were giving, like, proper time and respect to it. And again, it wasn't the greatest match, but also the crowd was hyped for it.
Yeah, they really enjoyed it.
They were excited. Like,
also, I noticed, too, during WrestleMania 1 and WrestleMania 2 in the crowd shots, there are a shitload of women there. Yeah. There have always been a shitload of women there. And it's...
Because especially in the 80s, like, and 80s and previous, wrestling was, like, a lifestyle. Like, everyone fucking loved wrestling.
Yeah.
And, like, there was, like, a drop-off and then come back in the 90s, but, like, people lived for this shit.
Yeah. And it was a community builder.
What you watched.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody watched it. It wasn't weird to be like, oh, I'm going to watch wrestling. Mm-hmm. You know, it wasn't, like, as stigmatized.
Right, exactly.
As it, like, was later and kind of is now, but, like, not really.
Yeah.
I loved at the back. So after this match... Gene interviewed Wendy and Cindy. Cindy has lipstick all over her teeth.
Yeah.
Looks like she ate a lipstick. And Gene asked her a question like, oh, because, like, her and Moolah, like, got into it on the outside.
Another, like, this ringside is too crowded.
Right.
This is fucking chaos.
Cindy goes, I brought my towel. I was ready for her. So she just hit her with a towel and then was like, I was ready with my towel of death. It was just, like... The way she framed it made it seem like it was, like, what you do as a wrestler. You bring your towel and you beat the shit out of people with your towels. I thought it was so funny.
Honestly, I bet that that's something Lou Albano told her, and that's why she has it.
Staple shit to your face, bring a towel. Right?
Yes, I agree.
Okay, so finally, the main event. Roddy Piper and Paul Orndorff with Cowboy Bob Orton as their, like, manager versus the Hulk, Mr. T with, like, Jimmy Snuka with them. Mm-hmm. So it was, like, a 2-on-2, but, like, kind of...
I can't believe the main event of the first WrestleMania was a tag match.
Yeah.
I was really, really surprised by that.
Well, and they, like, hyped the shit out of this. Like, there was a guest ring announcer.
There's a baseball dude I didn't recognize.
Yeah, some Billy Martin baseball, whatever. There was fucking Liberace as
the guest timekeeper. He did the whole kick line with the Rockettes.
The Rockettes.
I was into that. You know what? Why don't we have more guest timekeepers? Like, don't put these people who can't talk on commentary.
Right.
Make them look pretty. Have them come out. Have them wave hello. Do a little kick line. Go sit in the timekeeper area. They look shocked when wrestlers come over there, and that's more engaging than them trying to talk about shit that they can't talk about.
Muhammad Ali was also a guest referee.
So weird.
So weird. Liberace with his, like, little crystal bell.
Didn't want to ring the actual bell. He was like, I've got my little bell.
So funny. That's another, that just proves, like, it just was in the lexicon.
Yeah,
everybody loved wrestling. Mm-hmm. Roddy enters with a full crew of bagpipes. Roddy's so handsome.
Yes, he is.
And he's so good on the mic. He's, like, just, like, so good. Like, I was talking earlier with you, you know, because I haven't watched a lot of old wrestling. There are people who are like, oh, I love Macho Man. I love the Hulk. Like, oh, I really identified with blah, blah, blah. Like, I love Ric Flair. And, like, I don't have those people because I haven't really watched it. But, like, if I had to pick one, it would fucking be Roddy Piper.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, he's so fucking good.
I think, like, I don't really understand Nick Gage. He's a current indie wrestler. I just don't get it. Because he lives his gimmick. And, like, I've never seen him wrestle live. And I think once I do, I will understand it. But the way that Dr. Keith described it to me was he brings realness, fear, and legitimacy to wrestling today. And Roddy feels like that for this time. Like, he is a loose fucking cannon and legit feels like he will beat the shit out of a person. But
he's
I'm
also
into
funny.
it. Yeah, and I'm like, I think maybe that's why I like Roddy so much, is because he's really, really fucking funny.
He's funny. He can cut a good promo. He is, like, good in the ring. He's handsome. Like, he's, like, a whole fucking total package, man.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree.
I'm in love with him.
He's great. I'm so glad. I love that your two guys are Ricky the Dreamboat Dragon and fucking Roddy Piper.
Yeah, the hot ones that are good at wrestling. That's why I like wrestling. They're hot and they're good at wrestling. That's why, I mean, when people come and, like, when I say, like, Drew McIntyre and EC3 are, like, my favorite wrestlers, like, they're hot and good at wrestling.
Fair. That's fair.
I mean, there are other reasons, but, like, that's basically it. I need 2 things.
That's true. Austin Aries used to be your favorite, and once he stopped being hot, bye, girl.
Bitch, bye. It's helpful if they can cut good promos, like EC3 and Austin Aries can cut good promos. Drew can cut a good promo, but it's, like, so babyface that it's, like, annoying sometimes, but also, like, he's got the accent, so, like, please keep talking. But anyways, that's not what we're talking about. I feel, like, weird saying this because, like, I obviously know how trash Hulk is as a person, so my opinions are really colored by that, obviously, but trying to step away from it, I, like, really don't understand.
I don't get it.
I don't get it.
I don't fucking get it. It makes no sense to me. I feel the same way. I don't fucking get it.
Is it because my opinions are colored?
No.
Like, I just don't get it.
I don't fucking get it. His moveset isn't great. Like, for the time, whatever, that's a little different. But he's not actually a babyface. He cheats all the time. He enacts revenge. He doesn't let shit go. He's a bad guy.
Horrifyingly ugly.
Yes.
He looks better now than he, like, I know it's probably all the drugs, but he has, like, serious gusher face. He's, like, fucking a crazy, unnatural color. He has this hair that is blonde, but also crazy balding.
And gone. So gone. I don't get it.
His promos are not...
They're not good. He doesn't know how to talk into the microphone. It drives me... I really thought for a second you were going to be like, I get it. I kind of... No, good. I don't get it either.
I don't. At all.
I don't get it. I don't fucking get it.
I don't get it.
Yeah, there's like nothing about him that I like. I just don't understand. Yeah. I don't get it.
I don't get it. I really don't. Anyways, this match was a fucking mess. Like, such
a mess.
I don't even know how to... I couldn't even write anything down. I wrote, this match is a mess. Is this even a wrestling match? I can't follow a damn thing. See you later, nerds. Roddy Piper.
You know, honestly, I thought Mr. Wonderful was underrated.
Agreed.
Like,
and his moment at the end where he, like, looked around and was like, where are my friends?
He sold that. He really, for sure. He really sold the end of that.
But, like, this match had so much pomp and circumstance with Mr. T and Liberace and Muhammad Ali, and, like, it was just so much. And then the match was just, like, chaos. Like, it started good because you had, like, you had Mr. Wonderful and Hulk, and then Roddy and Hulk, and then Roddy and Mr. T, and then Mr. Wonderful and Mr. T, and they were, like, playing that, like, no, I want to face you, because, like, Roddy and Hulk, and Roddy and Mr. T have, like, a whole feud.
And IRL hated Mr. T. Really hated him.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe that explains some of the choices he made later on.
Yeah.
But it just, like, was a fucking mess.
Oh, it was such a fucking mess.
I can't imagine that being the main event, and I'm sure everyone didn't care because, like, they were so excited to see, like, Muhammad Ali and all this, like, and Mr. T. And,
it didn't matter. It
was just like a messy match to have them lose, and then Roddy be like, I'm leaving, bye.
And it was weird.
Roddy and his boyfriend, Bob Orton.
I love them together. It's so great. I like Bob Orton as a mostly silent manager far more than I've ever liked his son.
Yeah.
Also, there's something about him that's really... I cannot remember what this actor's name is, but if someone was going to play Cowboy Bob Orton in a biopic, it would be that guy who was in the IT Crowd and then was in Bridesmaids.
Chris Pratt.
No, not Chris Pratt.
Chris O'Donnell.
Yes?
Yeah, Chris O'Donnell. Mm-hmm. Sorry, there's so many Chris's in Hollywood.
I know, there's too many fucking Chris's.
There's too many Chris's in Hollywood. Chris O'Donnell.
Yes. Look, totally has that look.
Totally.
And
actually.
Yeah, right? Could absolutely play him in a movie. And I would be really into that, actually.
No, Chris O'Donnell is not that person.
Wait, Chris O'Donnell... Chris
O'Donnell is from Three Musketeers. And
that's right. I met him once. He was in a play with
is it Chris
Alan
something?
Rickman. I think
maybe it's just an O'Donnell.
Chris O'Dowd?
Chris O'Dowd. Is
that it?
Yeah, I think. Maybe. Let's look it up. We just gotta look it up because I don't know at this point, to be honest.
That's right. Chris O'Donnell was in Stand By Me when he was a fat little kid and then grew to be very handsome.
Fat little kid and Stand By Me. Aw. What is your name, Chris O'Dowd?
It is Chris O'Dowd.
We made it. Hey, we made it.
He does look shockingly like Cowboy Bob Orton.
He does.
It's really weird. I like it. I think it's
funny.
Also, he's very talented and I think could do a really good job with something like that.
Overall feelings on WrestleMania 1.
I liked it way more than I thought I was going
too.
to. And I liked that it was short.
Yeah.
It immediately stops being this short.
Immediately.
Yeah, I really liked it. I'm really excited to see how things change. More than anything, I think that's what's going to be very interesting about this. How they start to shift to characters, and once that change happens for the Attitude Era, like, and the safety stuff, they don't do hand checks yet. I'm interested to see when that happens. Like, it doesn't even look like the refs have headsets in, which is really fucking weird. Like, so I think it's interesting as like a cultural time capsule also.
Absolutely.
Which is, I think, going to be really fascinating. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Even if it was a clusterfuck, I really enjoyed it.
Who's your most bangable member of WrestleMania 1?
Most bangable... Mike Rotunda.
Really?
He looked real fucking good. Yeah.
All right.
Before he becomes IRS, I was like, ooh, you are a baby and you're hot as fuck right now.
Baby and you're hot. I mean, Obvi, my most bangable is Ricky the Dreamboat.
Obviously.
I just can't get over it.
He's my runner-up.
I think I might runner up is Andre. Because I was like, I just want to know what it's like.
That's fair.
To have sex with Andre the Giant.
That's fair.
Who's your, you would have touched them with a 10-foot pole? It's the Hulk, obviously. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, it has to be the Hulk. 1000%.
We have to try and not have if we have repeats in our most bangable, it has to be like a good reason why. Like, if I do Ricky again, it has to be like really because it was like the best match, or it was because like this moment. Like, we have to try and have different bangables.
Yeah.
We'll try our hardest.
Yeah, we're trying that. Also, honorable mention, I wrote that one down too. Wendy Richter looked real good.
Yeah.
Even in that like fucking stupid bathing suit. She looked great. So, good for you, girl.
Yeah.
Also, I thought, going into this, I really expected there not to be a lot of women on this. And there were more women than I was expecting.
Sure.
Which was a pleasant surprise. So that, I know, will not last. And so, I enjoyed it for at least this.
Okay. Well, that was our first Every Mania ever!
Ba, 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 ba.
Thanks for subscribing to our Patreon. Make sure you tell your friends.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do a sign-off. Should we have a special, like, Mania sign-off?
We can silently point at something that no one can see. No, that's terrible.
Yeah, let's do that. Ready? Go. Bye.
Bye.
Get a great deal more than a great deal at the Hyundai Season of More event. More features, more technology, and more confidence because 7 Hyundai models are recognized for 2018 IIHS top safety picks when equipped with automatic emergency braking and specific headlights. At the Hyundai Season of More event, going on now. Get a 2018 Santa Fe Sport with up to $3,750 total savings, or buy with 0% APR for 60 months, plus $1,750 bonus cash. Call 877-616-8513 for details, or visit your local Hyundai dealer. Hyundai models named IIHS top safety picks include Santa Fe Sport models built after June 2017. Visit IIHS.org for more details. Get a great deal more than a great deal at the Hyundai Season of More event. More features, more technology, and more confidence because 7 Hyundai models are recognized for 2018 IIHS top safety picks when equipped with automatic emergency braking and specific headlights. At the Hyundai Season of More event, going on now. Get a 2018 Santa Fe Sport with up to $3,750 total savings, or buy with 0% APR for 60 months, plus $1,750 bonus cash. Call 877-616-8513 for details, or visit your local Hyundai dealer. Hyundai models named IIHS top safety picks include Santa Fe Sport models built after June 2017. Visit IIHS.org for more details.